Hello, hi y'all. I am finally here. I know that this banner has been up for a minute about me doing this API. So I've been working on this for a while, actually, but I abbreviated it a little bit because I just want to go over the basics, okay, of API and xAPI. And I wanted to do this because I am both in the learning and development community, and I'm also in cybersecurity. I'm a cybersecurity professional. So being in both of those worlds has allowed me to see certain things that I did not see when I was just in the learning and development community, because we really didn't think about security, when we, talked about training and online stuff and, and all that. Yeah, we didn't. We just didn't think about security at that point. So I'm going to pull up the presentation here. Let me share my screen with you. Make sure I get the right one. And we're just going to get right on to it. Okay, so API, API, and cybersecurity, right? So let me pull this up. Here we go. All right, application programming interfaces. That's what APIs are. And they're like the connectors on the back of your TV. Okay, if you have an Xbox, if you have a DVD, DVR player, so any kind of game console, okay, and it connects to the back of your TV, all right, that's what it's like. So both the TV and the device, when they're connected, they know what to do, okay, in order to get information and all that stuff from one to the others, okay. So the things that connect them, the connectors, okay, are the interface that lets one machine talk to another, okay, like the API, the application programming interface. That lets, without you having to do anything, you don't know what's going on. All you know is you're connecting the DVD player, the Xbox, PlayStation, whatever, to the TV, and it works. Okay, same thing in a nutshell. Experience API is that, but it's more about how that data is going to be collected and reported. Okay, so in the past, or even, I mean, today, we still have SCORM. All right, we talk, if you're in federal government, you know all about SCORM. Okay, especially if you've developed courses and stuff, right? SCORM stays on the LMS, the learning management system. Okay, it tracks formal, e-learning stuff, and the data is there, but what it does not do, which is what xAPI does, Experience API, is it really helps to allow correlating what's going on in training to job performance. Okay, that happens a lot easier with xAPI. Okay. And here's just another way of looking at that. Okay, so you see with API, we can get data from everywhere. You have wearable devices like your Fitbits and stuff like that. Even your car, your car collects data. Any kind of sensors you have, the TV, mobile devices, all that stuff. Okay, it doesn't have to be on the learning management system. And you can see here with the red and the green, comparing the So this is another way to look at it. Okay, so API it's important that you see where it is when it comes to cybersecurity. Okay, where the API sits and what it is. What it is, I know I gave the definition of it, but in a minute here we're going to get to exactly what it is and why we should be concerned. Okay, learning development folks out there, when it comes to this. Okay. So API is a software code, okay, that can be accessed and executed. It's a code, all right? It's something that somebody wrote, all right? It's logical, okay, not physical, it's logical, okay? All right, and it helps two different softwares to communicate and exchange data with each other, all right? And I'm going to give you an example of what that looks like, but let me show you what happens in traditional stuff. So when you go and you ask for something from a server, okay, normally all that work and stuff, happens in the in the server, and then it gives you what you're asking for. Now with API, a lot of that stuff happens on the client side, okay, which is your computer or the phone or the car or wherever you're getting the data from. Plus, there's more information being sent, okay? More information being sent. Okay, keep this in mind. Say, for example, if we didn't have APIs, okay, what would it look like? So let's say you are on Twitter and you want to find all the tweets that mention my book, Longing to Learn. So you put in hashtag longing to learn. All right. If there was no API, you would email Twitter and you would ask Twitter for a spreadsheet of all the tweets that have hashtag longing to learn. But after they did that, you'd have to find a way to import that spreadsheet to your application. And even if you put them in a database, the data is outdated. I mean, by the time you get it in there, it's outdated. Okay. So, and unless you have stuff, going on every millisecond, it's going to stay outdated. All right. So it'd be much better and a lot easier for Twitter to provide me a way to query Twitter to get that data so that I can view and use it in my own application whenever I want to do it. Okay. All right. A lot easier, right, than asking Twitter for a spreadsheet of all that stuff. Yes. Let me just go get some code in here and pull what I need to pull when I need to pull it. Okay. Now here we go. Who writes this code? Okay. The first rule of programming: if it works, don't touch it. This is what the programmers say. You see this cow? The cow is able to move and walk on the udders. Now this is animated. It's not animated here though. But if you see it, the cow is walking on its udder, like it's moving. It's walking. It's walking. It's moving. If it works, don't touch it. Okay. All right. And the code over here on the right. So this is where the issues can come in when it comes to cybersecurity. All right. For a lot of, and the folks who write this code, who writes the code? Okay. Of course, it's programmers, people who know how to program and use code and all that stuff. However, and they're in large tech organizations, they're in government, they're in conferences, software startups, fans, people from all over the world. They're writing this code. But the problem is, when businesses and folks need applications, the question is, does it work? Not, is it safe? Okay. It's mostly like, does it do what I want it to do? Yes. Okay, fine. That's, go ahead, execute, implement it. That's not a good thing. Not in today's world. Okay. Not in today's world when you have criminal behavior all over the place. All right. So we want to make sure it works, but we also want to make sure it's safe. Okay. Because we don't want our APIs that are collecting all this data and, doing all this stuff for learning and development. Now it turns around, all the people's information has just been out there. Folks are having issues with getting loans and homes and cars and all this, because our application has, multiple bugs and vulnerabilities and stuff in it. Okay. So having that, being very secure conscious at the point when the code is being written, is very, very important, and you have to make sure that that's being done. There are a lot of resources out there to help with this process. A lot of threat modeling, with programming and coding. There's a whole bunch of stuff. All right. Here I've only put one, the Open Web Application Security Project, because they have a top 10. I only have 4 here, but there's the link there, and I'm also going to put it in the description, where you can go to see how your APIs, could be vulnerable, and what you need to do to be sure that you are doing your due diligence. You are taking the steps that are needed to allow the people that you're collecting all this data from, to see if the training is aligning with the job and there's a difference in the benefits are, demonstrated and all that stuff, which is wonderful. but at the same time, you want them to be able to do this safely. Okay, these folks have the right to be secure. Okay, they absolutely do, and it's your responsibility. All right, if you're going to be using, xAPI and all this other wonderful stuff, it's your responsibility to be sure you're doing everything you can with these applications to make sure that not only that they work, okay, but that they're secure. All right. Again, I'm going to put this link in the description, so you can go there and peruse at your leisure. Okay. So this is all that I wanted to share with you tonight, and I may do more on this. I don't know. We'll have to see, but I just wanted to get it out there because I didn't see it out there. Okay, at least not on this platform, not like that anyway. Now, there are a lot of people who are doing stuff. I know that ADL, Advanced Distributed Learning, the DoD folks, I believe, they're working on something for a risk management framework, okay, for API, which I think is amazing, absolutely awesome. I can't wait until they get more information out about that. Okay, so that'll be super, super helpful, once that does come out. Okay, all right. That's all I have for you tonight. Thank you all so much for listening, and I will see you again very soon.